Hey guys, so today we'll be talking about central angles and arcs. So first, what is a central angle? So a central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle. If this is the circle that we have, it's circle O, and Y and Z are the endpoints, then the central angle would be center angle YOZ, this angle right here. And then we have arcs. So an arc consists of 2 points and a continuous part of a circle between them. If this is our example circle, then P and Q are the endpoints, and there are actually 2 arcs here. There's arc PQ on the top side, and then there's arc PQ on the bottom side. Now let's talk about the different kinds of arcs. So we have minor arcs, which this is an example right here. In minor arcs, the endpoints and all the points on the interior of the angle would be part of the minor arc. So here, this is also, again, circle O. Y and Z are the endpoints. It's hard to see, but those are the endpoints. And the arc YZ at the top here would be the minor arc. And in the major arc, the arc is in the exterior of the circle, of the central angle of the circle. So if this is the circle O again, then the major arc would be arc YWZ. It would be going on the outside, on the exterior of the angle, versus on the minor arc, it would be here on the interior of the angle. So now let's talk about semicircles. So, in semicircles, the endpoints are those of a diameter, and the circle would be divided into 2 arcs. So here we have the same circle, circle O, but it's both a semicircle, but the arc would be represented on the different part of the circle. So here, in both of them, Y and Z are the endpoints, and in the first circle, X is another endpoint up here, and this is the diameter, YZ is the diameter, so since it's the diameter, the circle would be divided in half, and it is a semicircle, so the arc would be YXZ at the top. And then another example, in circle O, we have endpoints Y, Z, and W at the bottom here. So the semicircle arc would be YWZ at the bottom. Now they're both semicircles, as you can see, but the arcs are represented in 2 different ways. And now let's talk about how to find the measure of the major and minor arcs. Okay, so here we have how to find the measure of a minor arc. Actually, the measure of the minor arc is equal to the measure of its central angle. So here we have circle O, and I'll just zoom in right there. Here we have circle O, and its central angle is 50 degrees. It says it right there, which means if the central angle is 50 degrees, then the minor arc, which is up here, arc YZ, would also be equal to 50 degrees. And as you can see, the measure of arc YZ is equal to the measure of arc YOZ, and they're both equal to 50 degrees. So that's how you'd get it. Okay, and now let's look at how to find the measure of a major arc. So the measure of the major arc would be 360 degrees, which is the degree of a circle, minus M, where M is the measure of the minor arc. So here we have an example for that, and let's just zoom in really quickly. So if we have circle O once again, and the endpoints are Y, W, and Z, and if we're given that this arc YZ, the minor arc up here, is equal to 50 degrees, then we can determine the major arc up here, which is arc YWZ. Okay, to do that, we would have to take 360 degrees which is the degree of the whole circle, and subtract that from 50, which is the minor arc. And then we get 310 degrees, which would be the degree of the major arc, YWZ, this. And lastly, let's talk about how to find the measure of a semicircle. And this is easy enough because we know that if the degree of the circle is 360 degrees, then divide that by 2, and we get the measure of the semicircle, which is 180 degrees. So here we have another circle, and YZ is the diameter, as you can see right here, with another endpoint X. And to find the degree of the arc YXZ up here would be the semicircle arc. That's just 180 degrees because you divide 360 by 2. So that's all you need to know about central angles and arcs. This is a nice intro to semicircles and arcs. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.